Cheap Seats, the show that not only goes behind the music, but gives it a prostate exam as well. Today, we'll be watching an international 1986 roller derby match between the Los Angeles T-Birds and the Golden State Bombers, played in Las Vegas for obvious reasons. Now here's what we want you to look for.
Here's what to look for. Here's what to look for.
By 1986, roller derby was way past its prime. In many ways, it had become like Fat Elvis, a mere shadow of its former self, whiling away its final years in Las Vegas, until sadly and inevitably, it had a massive heart attack while sitting on the toilet. Also watch for how they refer to this as an international event when it's a match between LA and Golden State. The Golden State, of course, being the state that Los Angeles is in. It's as international as Kid Rock in a leather cowboy hat singing the national anthem at a NASCAR event. So as the French say, bow to bow to bang to bang boogie to bang boogie, say up jump the boogie. Loosely translated, let's watch some roller derby.
From the Showboat Hotel Sports Pavilion in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Championship Roller Derby. And tonight, the world champion Las
World champions? Yeah, they just put the beat down on a team from Democratic Kampuchea.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Greenwood, and what a game.
Greenwood with the green mic cover. You think that's his gimmick?
The bomber boss, E.G. Pretty Boy Miller, is still on suspension.
This guy's like an unfinished Frankenstein.
Pal, Leroy, the bad boy,
What the hell is that? I think that's the abominable snowman. No way, dude. Why would a Yeti be hanging out at a roller games match? To pick up skanky chicks?
But she will...
And I think he just found one in Fat Benatar. I'm guessing she was raised by her dad. Just guessing.
He says if this happens, blood will flow. Will it?
Paul, this is your producer. Listen, if you could just ignore the bird, he'll go away.
Those two former skating greats, Ted Maroff and Jess Adams.
Well, I'll tell you what, John Hall is mad, and he has every right to be. He planned...
Is Ted Maroff standing on a lazy Susan?
E.G. Miller, and who shows up? Deanna Booher, Leroy Gonzalez incarnate. Leroy Gonzalez has no game plan. He has no philosophy.
I can tell you for sure, Booher doesn't have a...
Wait, are Jess Adams and Ted Maroff sharing a microphone? These guys have a tighter budget than us. I wonder what else they share. How about the same taste in bad suits?
It's a good case to take to the IRDL. It's absolutely outrageous that man...
Okay, Ted, how about you give your son back his sit and spin?
You know, Ted, outrageous might be a good way to describe this game tonight.
I, however, prefer the term fake or entertainment challenged.
Well of a game.
It really should. And in the men's field, John Hall says he's going to counteract any crazy things he might find with crazy Bren Futura going up against probably David R's...
Pause it. That's the same guy, and if I'm not mistaken, he's the 3 of clubs on the Axles of Evil watch list. Did you just say axles of evil? Yeah, axles, wheels, roller skates. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Ted and Jess. Well, the coin has been tossed. It came up heads, and that means the men start tonight.
Men?
Under the new DiCarlo doctrine. And we'll be right back.
Did Paul just say men? Yeah, but he meant men. Who has trouble saying the word men? Pill Grinwood, that's who. But you know what I'm more confused about? The DiCarlo doctrine. What the hell is that?
Hear ye, all rise for the reading of the DiCarlo doctrine. Rule number 1, always use an affected British accent when reading the DiCarlo doctrine. Rule number 2, if the coin toss reads heads, the men will go first. Rule number 3, male roller game rivals must look strikingly similar to confuse the audience. And rule number 4, American continents, by the free and independent condition which they have assumed and maintain, are henceforth not to be considered as subjects of future colonization by any European power.
Wait a minute, that's the Monroe Doctrine.
No, it wasn't. And rule number 5, no fat chicks.
Okay, that's just mean. Is that even your real accent?
Yeah, it's my real accent. You want to do something about it?
No, let's just get back to the action.
You know,
4-zip, a classic defensive struggle. Yeah, that's interesting, because I believe the over-under in Vegas was no one cares.
stay in the lead. Both teams are on it.
Here they go again.
It's the battle of two dudes who look alike. I don't like the cut of your mustache. Well, I don't like yours. The rink looks like the psychedelic munchkin land from The Wizard of Oz. Follow the yellow-green road. Follow the yellow-green road.
Watch out, here comes...
This sport proves my theory that the only person who was in good shape in the 1980s was Mark Gastineau.
Taking the ball high. Nice job.
That was the score. He basically skated slowly and then called an offsides penalty.
45, David Mendez. Solid.
And just listen to the crowd shower Ares Mendez with indifference.
Jackson knows all the tricks.
Who's this guy? The uptight lieutenant from every 80s cop movie?
4-4. They got off to a good start, but the Bombers came right back. John Hall has to wonder what Pete Booher has in store.
Hey, it's Tommy Lasorda.
He said, give the helmet to Ralphie Valadares, number 8.
Ralphie Valadares, living proof that you're never too old to embarrass your grandchildren. This guy's the Gordie Howe of roller derby.
Ralph Valadares, number 8.
Yeah, hitting old man. He probably did something to deserve it in his lifetime. He's gonna shatter a hip. Yeah, whatever, he's got another one.
Oh, Deanna Booher just knocked down Valadares at the rear of the pack. Ours minutes go by.
Oh, come on. The old guy's getting his ass kicked by a fat tranny in hot pants. Well, at least he's going out with dignity.
Got skaters everywhere out there.
What is going on here?
Yeah, the ref really needs to get control of this scripted event.
Coming up, Randy and Jason get their jam on.
Oh, that's what...
Hey, welcome back to Cheap Seats. Today we're watching the 1986 roller derby match between the LA T-Birds and the Golden State Bombers. Now, as you know, our show is only a half an hour. And we all know that's not nearly enough time to understand some of the life choices made by this woman. But have no fear, because we will attempt to fill in some of those blanks with a little segment we like to call... You missed the roller derby penalty box wither in the presence of Queen Kong D. Booher. That thing's less stable than Argentinian currency. John Hall and the Birds shared a tender moment, paging Rick Santorum. And a confused hippie had the weirdest trip of his life. I need a miracle, man. All right, so let's head back to the rink where something no doubt confusing is going on.
Well, if
Where's
you
his
want
green mic cover? The man has lost his
the only
identity.
thing predictable about roller derby is the unpredictable.
And by unpredictable, we mean fake.
Unimaginable.
Did his lip just quiver? Let's watch that again. Yep, right there. Quivered. Why is he on the verge of tears? He just remembered the very special Alf when Alf had to choose between Earth and Melmac.
Queen Kong and the feathery costume mascot.
Is she wearing a digital watch? She's cutting edge, Ran. I bet she's got a microwave at home, too. And maybe even a machine that records phone messages when she's not home.
The Bird and the DJs came in.
Greenwood is terrified right now.
He was in costume. He was wearing skates, cheering on the T-Birds, and D. Booher,
His nickname is?
Queen Kong,
Thank
to
you.
intimidate the Bird, said if he wanted to skate, she'd challenge him to a match race. Well, the Bird accepted.
No.
And according to the code of roller derby skaters, if you issue a
The code can be viewed at the Smithsonian alongside the DiCarlo Doctrine and the astronaut ice cream.
you put your big foot in your big mouth this time, Queenie. Now what are you going to do about it?
I'm gonna eat you, rawr!
The way you talk to me, I don't like the way that bird is acting.
Well, I don't like your acting either, but you don't hear me b***ing.
Very angry.
I'm glad you told us that because it wasn't clear from your acting.
Ridiculous. It's disgusting and foul. You're a foul.
Well, I'll tell you something. You're going to be looking ridiculous.
To whom? The 4 people who saw this originally or the 4 people who are watching it on Cheap Seats? come on. Don't fake push him so hard. Okay, that's the weakest punch slap at a sporting event since Buddy Ryan hit Kevin Gilbride. Please let it be the last thing she does.
Suspension for insubordination. He and his hoss. They open their mouth one too many times, too many people.
Could the crowd be less into it? Yeah, it's not a Dodgers game, people. Let's get up.
Arnie Williamson went down hard. Debbie Garvey with a good block from the inside. Coming up the rear. Oh, and Weichel.
Hey, it's roller skating Florence Henderson. Mom always said, don't let your helmet fall off in the house.
Rory Weichel, one of the best blockers in the women's field in the RDL. Garvey, oh, nice side step by Garvey. Weichel's coming back hard, though. Gwen Miller.
There's more mom butt out there than at a Bette Midler concert.
Double blocks, you got by them. Another whip from Blaine on Ella Chappelle. Debbie Garvey calls off the jet.
Now she looks like a smiling Hillary Clinton. And that's how we know it's not the real Hillary.
Garvey surrounded here. Rory Weichel, Deanna Booth. I would get
When you're surrounded like that, you've only got one option. Bite the fat girl's finger. Yeah, eat it. Eat it. Is that gravy pouring out of that finger? Delayed reaction on the finger bite, and perfect. Well, the action sure is, I don't want to say heating up. It's more like defrosting, and the edges are starting to turn a little white. So let's throw it to Paul Greenwood, who's on the inner track for the interview that nearly won him a Tony.
John Hall, I know you're upset, but I'm going to tell you something. Substitute managers match races against a bird. What is, if everybody lost their minds, what's going on here?
Substitute this.
I love Substitute This. Yeah, Tom Berenger and Billy Crystal should work together more often.
To manage a team for them that's so stupid, so who are you?
Boy, he is one angry police chief. Well, 5 minutes ago, he was chewing out Axel Foley.
As far as I'm concerned, she doesn't belong out here. They're changing managers like crazy. Well, she's somebody...
Whoa, Ralphie, turn down the miracle ear. She's right next to you. She can hear you.
Spank her like a little baby.
Spank her.
Look at how excited Greenwood got at the mention of a spanking. We gotta see it again. Rewind it. What? There is a God.
How about that? You think she needs a big spanking?
Oh, so it is a kid show.
Wait a minute.
All of my fantasies are coming true, but I can't believe it. Wait a minute. I'm losing fake control here.
Wait a minute. Look at this. They're going to spank her. I don't believe it.
Ralphie, that's less of a spanking and more of a beating.
Tonight's game, we better call the cops.
Dear God, Ralphie could lose a hand doing that. Who's your granddaddy? Who's your granddaddy? Yeah, kick him. Now, in watching that last segment, one thing becomes crystal clear. Roller derby is a sport that celebrates the art of weak fighting. An art that can take years to perfect and a lifetime to master. Yeah, Ralphie Valadares is the proud owner of a Paisley belt in the weak fighting arts, the highest of all weak fighting belts. Point is, these guys are pros. So whatever you do, don't try weak fighting at home. You'll just get very, very unhurt. And if you don't believe us, take a look at some amateurs trying to mix it up in the weak fighting game. It's our cheap shot of the week, and we'll see you after the break. One question for you. Axe away, Rand. Do you have the chutzpah, nay, the moxie, to handle an all-D booher, do you care? Let's find out.
Just the facts. Do you care?
Do you care that in 1971, Dee Booher became the first female collegiate wrestler in the U.S. when she wrestled for El Camino College? Do you care that she helped create Glow, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, and wrestled under the pseudonym Matilda the Hun? Do you care that she invented the slamagram, in which she performed her famous knocker locker move, which consisted of shoving a man's face into her chest, belly bopping him, and spanking him in front of all of his friends and family? And if there's a more perfect Father's Day gift, I'd like to see it. Well, let's head back to more fakeness. Uh-oh, the T-Birds are going to have to go into their 2-minute offense. And I'll just jump over nothing. He'd be more dominant if he drove around. Uh-oh, the T-Birds are going to have to go into their 2-minute offense. And I'll just jump over nothing. He'd be more dominant if he drove around the rink on a Segway.
He hangs on.
Tell us again, Grandpa. Tell us how you slid through the fat lady's legs. Well, it was a week ago Friday. Your grandmother had just passed on, and I'd started my third in a long series of saline drips.
Look out! Oh! No! Oh!
The announcer is having a heart attack.
Somebody call that man a proctologist. Bernie,
You're a proctologist.
upright at 28 miles an hour.
28 miles per hour? Does he have a radar gun? Yeah, and if it's just a guess, why 28? Round it up to 30, at least.
Wants their team in the lead.
Okay, here comes Mike Flanagan for the T-Birds. He's got some sweet moves. Check him out.
Bombers still have a 1-point lead.
Great. There goes the fourth penalty box of the night.
Terry Campion has to be getting...
Okay, the only thing sadder than a 73-year-old man skating around in shorts for a paycheck are the people who pay money to watch him. That's right. And there's only one man who can probe deep into the hearts and minds of these roller derby fans. Cristiano Amanpour? Fine, 2 men. And we've got the other one, in the stands, embedded with the fans. Take it away, Mac and Ernie.
Talk to some of the fans up here in the stands.
Oh, this should work out nicely.
Where are you from, and what do you think of tonight's question?
Greg gets here from Las Vegas.
Perfect.
And I think they definitely should skate.
That wasn't the question.
Yeah, my name's Kim Gutierrez, and I think that I would like to see this big woman skate with our fine feathers.
3, 2, 1, and she's all out of brain cells.
Go that way. Well, wait a minute.
Looks like the fans are really enjoying Controlled Substance Night
My name's Glenn Dudley.
of Dudley Sump Pumps in Altoona.
I don't think a professional should ever confront an amateur.
Yeah, it's my weekend with the kids, so I figured this would be the easiest way to kill a few hours.
We all know what she's built for.
Well, that's very good. What? Wait a minute. You got a real cute little gal right next to you. What's her name?
Father of the Year.
And this is my other daughter, Tara.
Where? Earth to Dad. I think Tara left in the second period.
That's about all the time we have for Voice of the Fans. We'll see you next week, and be sure and drop us a line. Thanks a lot.
Nice theme music. Yeah, it's great to see that roller derby kept Harold Faltermeyer working after the Beverly Hills Cop trilogy. Well, he only worked on 2 of those, and you can tell. Ah, the roller derby fan. Is there a more dedicated, unemployed person alive? Nope, not since Nick Nolte died. I think he's still alive, dude. Oh, well then, no. No. But it is really sad that a lot of those fans have left roller derby since it's really gone downhill in the last few years. Well, don't give up roller hope, Rand. Because actually, I've heard they're trying as hard as ever to lure those fans back. They've even taken the bold step of hiring Bradley Wallace. Sports marketing guru Bradley Wallace? The very one. Take a look.
A few years ago, Roller Games was in a heap of trouble, threatened to be leg whipped into oblivion. A guy named Bradley rolls in, something happens. Who are you that you are not suicidal? Because I don't like you, and how can you like yourself? But I do believe in second chances, so I'm going to give you another try. See if you can get this right. Sweet and sour chicken with the sauce on the side. I want 1 snow pea. Okay? You f*** it up, I'm not coming back to your restaurant. What does it mean to be a sports marketing genius? If I told you, well, then I'd be an idiot. Because I'd be like a magician telling you my tricks. And what I am is a genius, magician. I'm a magenius. It's good. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm done. I'm done with you. Not you. Not you.
Should I?
You. What have I done? Why don't you ask yourself what you've seen? Okay? Have you seen sports? You're welcome. Maybe you've heard of the ABA and red, white, and blue balls. That was me. Homer Hankies. That was me. Let me do something for you. It's pretty cool, right? It's confetti. I thought of that. What are you doing this weekend? You and me, we're hanging out.
Well, I'm hanging out with you.
What? Are you hitting on me?
No.
This is
I'm not.
really tense now. This is really awkward. Here's the thing, I love people. I'm a people person. Retype it. The exact same thing. I just want you to retype it. I like for people to interact with me on kind of a non-interpersonal basis.
Shave your sideburns. I hate them.
All right, this is cool. These are some of my ideas for the new league. Some of the seats at every game will give you hepatitis. Do you know which seats? No. Hepatitis B, right? They don't even know they're gonna get it. They get it when they go to the show, hat night. Okay? You get hepatitis B plus hat night. You got money! Later on, they start turning yellow. And then we get buzz from the press. Then everyone who comes to a roller game event after that is going to be like, am I going to get hepatitis? I don't know. It's a gamble. Sometimes I feel like I'm a ninja. Some people say roller games is too violent. I want to see more violence, less skating. In Texas, they love executions. In the middle of the event, we black out the arena. Spotlight on a random seat. Sniper, bam! Right in the brainstem. Guy crumples over. You go to a game, you don't know if you're gonna be that guy, but you hope you're sitting next to him. Turn around. Turn around.
Excuse me?
Turn around.
Okay.
Turn this issue around. Not, what are you doing? What are you doing? We are done.
Done.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Not you. Hey! If you don't shock people, they're not going to pay attention to you. And if they don't pay attention to you, then you might as well not exist. And if you don't exist, what the are you doing sitting here talking to me? Roller Games asked me to put them on the map. And that's exactly what I intend to do. If they don't like my methods, I'll just take my and walk. I'm sure the United Way would be happy to have me back.
Welcome back to the exciting, albeit confusing conclusion of roller derby, a sport which many consider to be the last stop on an entertainer's career before wrestling at a state fair for his lunch. Let's head back to the rink for the exciting conclusion of this semi-controlled chaos.
35 seconds to go.
You trail by 2, the pack's
All right, this is it, the last jam. The T-Birds are trailing. It's gonna take a miracle, but Vegas is a town where miracles happen every day. Oh, and it's also totally fixed. What, Vegas or this match? Both.
Good Miller up to Lori Weichel.
Lori Weichel? Loved her as Blair on The Facts of Life. I actually think she did her best acting work in her exercise infomercials. Hey. You want hot sauce on your tongue? No?
Miller's still up. Miller's still up.
Who's
Lori's up. Weichels up.
11 seconds to go, Ted.
10 seconds.
Oh, she's not gonna make it. She's not gonna make it. The T-Birds are gonna lose. Just turn it off. Forget it. She's more concerned with dropping an elbow than winning the match.
Oh my God, they won!
Honestly, I had already made my peace with the fact that they were gonna lose, so... This is the biggest miracle since Dee Booher actually got her spandex outfit on before the game.
Whoa!
Well, that was truly baffling. Yep, and I feel like we're left with more questions than answers at this point. Who was the bird? What costume was he wearing? And what was the format of his radio station? What the hell does debooher mean? And couldn't any of these people taken an improv class? Well, there are some questions that we do know the answers to, like, what are the cheapies for today's show? Cheapie for the moment in the show that's most likely to put the women's movement back 10 years? I'm going to give it to the spanking. Yes, it was humiliating, but at least our fetish viewership spiked sharply during those 30 seconds. Wow. Mine was this.
I would like to see this big woman skate with our fine.
Let's have some self-respect, huh, lady? And the chibi for most medicated person out there, I'm going to go with this guy. He was just waiting for a little unbroken chain, and sadly, he's still waiting. Again, I got to go with this woman. I mean, come on, lady. What did I just say about respecting yourself? Well, that'll do it for us in our cheap seats look at roller derby, a sport that's often referred to as the poor man's wrestling. And after watching today's episode, I think you'll all agree that that statement is a tremendous insult to wrestling and the poor. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.